We spent 6 years building a restaurant people loved, and one influencer with a ring light nearly destroyed it in 48 hours. Hi, I'm Morgan. I'm 34, live in Charleston, and I run a small restaurant called Bay in Time with my wife, Kelsey. We're not fancy. We're not one of those places with $17 lemon water and foam of something on every dish. We serve elevated Southern food with a few personal twists: slow-roasted honey brisket, cornbread with bacon jam, and a shrimp and grits plate that our regulars claim they'd fight their own grandmas over. We're tucked into a corner off King Street, and our place isn't flashy. Just wood tables, string lights, and big windows that catch the golden hour perfectly. It's the kind of place people discover on accident and then come back for anniversaries. Well, they used to. This all started when a food influencer named Sasha Blake made a video about us. If you're into food, TikTok, or Instagram, you've probably seen her. She's got 1 million+ followers, wears pastel outfits, and does these expose-style reviews where she walks in acting bubbly, then posts videos titled like, "The Overpriced Nightmare That Made Me Cry," or "Wait Until You See What They Served Me." She's built a whole brand off authenticity, but if you watch closely, you'll notice something. She never posts full interactions. Everything's jump cut. Every complaint is out of context. She'll show 6 seconds of a server looking confused and add a voiceover like, "He didn't even know what I ordered." People eat it up, literally and figuratively. I'd seen her videos before, and I always hoped she wouldn't show up at our place. But of course, she did. It was a random Thursday night. We were busy but not slammed. I was on the line finishing a roasted sweet potato salad when Kelsey walked back into the kitchen with a look that said, "Brace yourself." "She's here," she whispered. "Who?" "The influencer chick with the big fake lashes. Sasha something." I peeked out. Yup. It was her. Sitting at table 7 with 2 friends, oversized phone tripod already set up. She was recording the menu, recording the walls, recording the water being poured like she was filming a documentary about hydration. Anson, my sous chef, looked at me and raised an eyebrow. "Want to send out something special?" "No," I said. "Just send what they ordered, exactly like everyone else." The dinner itself went fine, or so we thought. She ordered the brisket, the pimento mac and cheese, and our house cocktail. Her friends had the fried green tomato stack and trout. They ate, filmed, giggled, and asked Devin, one of our best servers, for extra napkins, which he brought in under 10 seconds. They left a $4 tip on an $86 bill. We rolled our eyes and moved on. But 2 days later, her video dropped, and it exploded. The caption, "I wanted to love Bay in Time," but it left me nauseous. Restaurant fail # dishonest dining. The thumbnail? Her frowning with her hand over her mouth like she was going to throw up. And the video? A 90-second disaster piece. She showed a clip of the brisket, but zoomed in super close to make it look dry, even though she'd eaten half. She edited in footage of her coughing after a bite, then claimed the seasoning was like chewing hot sand. Then she cut to Devin looking confused, but conveniently left out the part where he was answering 2 questions at once from her table and another. She claimed our cocktail tasted like a candle store in crisis and said the bathrooms were sketchy, even though we literally had them redone 2 months ago. Her followers didn't question it. Within hours, the comment section was flooded with, thanks for the warning. They look so rude, lol. Y'all just saved me $100. Then came the real-world effects. By that weekend, we had 17 reservation cancellations. Some regulars emailed to say they'd wait until things settled. A few people left 1-star Google reviews, saying the service was as cold as the food, even though they'd never been in the building. Anson was furious. "She faked half that video," he said. "Can't we respond? Sue? Something?" I felt the same. But suing an influencer? Not worth the cost or time. So I just stood there in my kitchen, staring at a full fridge, prepped ingredients, a phone that wasn't ringing. It wasn't just the money, though that hurt. It was the lie. We weren't perfect. We've had off nights. But this wasn't fair. This was someone turning our lives into clickbait. And we weren't the first. I knew that. But what Sasha didn't know was that we were always rolling. See, years ago, we had a guy come in claiming he slipped in the hallway, said his back was destroyed, tried to threaten us with legal action, but we had security cams, nice ones, crystal clear, multiple angles, always running in the background, Turned out the guy faked the fall. We kept the cameras up after that, quietly, just for safety, just in case. And now, they'd just become the most valuable thing we owned. Kelsey pulled the footage the next morning. We watched it together in the office, me, her, and Anson. No music, no cuts, just raw footage from Sasha's table. We saw everything. She didn't look disgusted. She was smiling, laughing with her friends, holding up the brisket for her camera, saying, "Actually smells kind of amazing." She ate most of it. At one point, she even said, "Y'all, this might be my new favorite low-key spot." The server footage? Devon was kind, patient, and offered extra sauce without being asked. The bathroom she called sketchy? She'd recorded herself fixing her hair in the mirror and said, "Ooh, the lighting's good in here." She'd filmed it for content, and then trashed it later. The entire review was a lie. That's when Kelsey said it, "We should post the whole thing." Like the raw tape? I asked. Yes, all of it, no edits, just facts. Anson leaned forward. And we make it a thing. Like, we start calling this crap out for every restaurant that's ever gotten smeared. I stared at them. "You want to start a fight with the internet?" "No," Kelsey said. "I want to finish one." That night, we uploaded a video to YouTube titled, "Our Full Footage of Sasha Blake's Review, What Really Happened at Bay and Time." We didn't add drama. We didn't even insult her. We just split-screened her original video next to our footage, her voiceovers versus her real reactions, her edited cold food shot versus the untouched security angle of her eating it fresh. We let the truth speak for itself. And the truth? It hit hard. We uploaded the video at 7:22 p.m. on a Sunday night. By midnight, it had 34,000 views. By Monday morning, it had over 200,000. People weren't just watching it, they were commenting, sharing, and screenshotting side-by-side comparisons of Sasha's fake video versus our unedited security cam. Some of the top comments said it all. She was literally smiling while eating. Then claimed she nearly threw up. This is why I don't trust influencer food reviews anymore. Props to Bay and Time for keeping receipts. Restaurant owners are finally fighting back, and I'm here for it. Kelsey was the one who had the idea to create a name for our little channel, Plated Truth. She made a logo in Canva that looked like a vintage receipt with a fork through it. Clean, simple, no drama. We weren't out for blood. We were just done being quiet. That first video kept gaining traction. Within 72 hours, it hit 500,000 views. A few small food blogs picked it up. Then a Twitter thread from someone with a blue checkmark said, "When influencers lie, local businesses die. But this restaurant had the receipts, literally." That tweet hit 4.8 million views. The next day, Sasha deleted her video. Not apologized. Not corrected. Just deleted. She posted a story instead, all blurry and crying in her car, saying she was being harassed and attacked for sharing her honest opinion. She turned off comments on everything and posted a selfie 2 hours later, holding a smoothie with the caption, "Taking a break from the negativity." Classic. The thing is, we didn't send anyone to harass her. We didn't ask for a pile-on. We even left a pinned comment saying, "Please don't send hate, just be informed." But the internet doesn't always work like that. Once people saw the edit job she did, cutting clips to make a cheerful meal look like a disaster, they reacted. And what surprised us most? Other restaurant owners started messaging us. The first was a place in Charlotte, a mom-and-pop diner called Griddle and Grit. Their message said, "Same influencer came to our place, edited out a good 20 minutes and made us look like monsters. We've been struggling for months because of it. Would love to send you the footage we have." I couldn't believe it. Then another came in, a ramen shop in Atlanta. Then one from Texas. Then one from Toronto. All small spots. All family-run. All taken down a peg or two by influencers trying to get clicks. All with footage. That's when we realized this wasn't just about our restaurant. It was about all of them. Kelsey looked at me one night while we were sitting on the floor, editing video number 2, and said, "What if this became something bigger? Like, not just defending ourselves. What if we started exposing how fake all of this is?" I was hesitant. I didn't want to become that guy who spends his life ranting on YouTube. I just wanted to serve good food. But seeing what those influencers did to places that could barely afford the hit, I was in. Our second video featured Griddle and Grits footage. They had solid security camera angles, Not as fancy as ours, but clear enough. Their server was sweet, calm, and even brought the influencer a free slice of pie for being a fan. The influencer took a bite, smiled, and then later posted that the pie was rubbery and that the waitress rolled her eyes. The uncut footage showed no eye roll, just a very tired 60-year-old woman blinking too hard in bad lighting. We posted it side by side again. Added subtitles, clean edits, no drama, just facts. 2 million views in 5 days. That's when the hate started. Not from viewers, from influencers. A few medium-sized food accounts posted videos saying we were endangering creators and weaponizing surveillance footage. Some said we were invading privacy, even though every customer who enters our restaurant sees a clear sign that we record for safety. Sasha's friend, some guy who reviews coffee shops with a lot of slow-mo B-roll and too many rings, tried to clap back with a rant video saying, "Restaurants need influencers more than influencers need restaurants." That aged like milk. Because 2 days later, one of his own review clips got exposed by a cafe in Austin. He'd claimed the barista was hostile and passive-aggressive, but their camera footage showed him loudly complaining about the espresso, asking if it was made by an intern, and calling the place basic. Oops. Meanwhile, our restaurant, it started filling up again. First it was regulars trickling back in after seeing the video. Then it was curious locals. Then came the foodies, actual ones who care about taste, not drama. One woman drove 3 hours from Savannah just to eat the brisket and shake my hand. "I saw the video," she said. "I trust you more than I trust Yelp now." Anson cried in the walk-in that weekend. "Don't tell him I told you." He said, "I thought we were done, boss. Like, closed for good. And now look at this place." Kelsey hired 2 more servers. Devin got a raise. We added an outdoor patio extension. The irony? We went viral by showing how fake viral can be. We didn't stop. Next up was the ramen shop in Atlanta. Same formula. Side-by-side, raw versus edited. Then a pizzeria in Phoenix. Then a boba tea shop in Seattle where the influencer said she got food poisoning, but the footage showed her sipping every drink happily and ordering extra mochi to go. One by one, these authentic review creators started losing credibility. A few of them disappeared altogether. Some made apology videos. And one influencer, a smaller one with only 80K followers, actually thanked us. "You made me realize I was editing for clicks instead of honesty. I want to do better." That one made us stop and breathe. Maybe this wasn't just about calling people out. Maybe it was about waking people up. By the end of the second month, Plated Truth had 217,000 subscribers and 6 to 8 million combined views. And Sasha? She tried to come back, posted a story about how she was healing and had new energy, even hinted that she might do a podcast about her side of the story. But people weren't interested anymore. Because once you fake it for likes, people start wondering what else you lied about. I never wanted to be a content creator. I'm a chef. I like making food that tastes like home, not drama that plays like reality TV. But I'm proud of what we built, both Bay in Time and Plated Truth. Because if you're going to sit behind a camera and claim to know who people are, you better be ready for the full picture to come out. And we've got angles for days. By the time Plated Truth hit 250,000 subscribers, I started noticing something different. When new influencers came into the restaurant, they acted strange. Some were overly polite, constantly saying things like, "Don't worry, I'm not like that other girl." Others would sneak their phones out from behind menus, filming like they were trying to capture UFO footage. We had gone from being nobodies to being the place not to mess with, which was surreal. But then came the ones who didn't care at all. And that's how we met Micah Jules. Micah was a next-gen foodie, whatever that means. His videos were super slick, with voiceovers that sounded like they were recorded in a luxury car, and thumbnails like, "This place is overhyped!" And here's the proof. He had about 800,000 followers across platforms and had recently started dipping into controversy-style content, basically baiting places into reacting so he could post the drama. And unfortunately, our name was already in his mouth. We saw it before he even came in, a tweet from his account. "Gonna see if the Plated Truth people are really as honest as they say. Let's see what happens when the camera flips." It got 11,000 likes. Micah walked into Bay in Time with 3 friends and 2 phones already recording. Kelsey was working the front and gave me the look from across the bar. Not panic, not even anger, just ready. Anson leaned over the line and whispered, "So, gloves off?" "Nah," I said. "Gloves on. Cameras rolling. Service perfect." We treated them like every other table. Water poured, menu explained, special offered. Devon was their server again, and he was calm, kind, and laser-focused. Micah ordered the trout with lemon beurre blanc, and halfway through the meal, I saw him whisper something to his friend, and then spill his drink on purpose. Clear as day. Camera facing the table. Glass tipped just enough to flood the tablecloth and soak the bread. He threw his hands up like it was an accident and said loudly, "Wow, this place is just chaos today." I almost laughed. Then came the complaint about the food. He took 2 bites, shook his head, and pushed the plate back dramatically. "It's undercooked," he told Devon. "I'm sorry to hear that," Devon said calmly. "Would you like me to bring it back to the kitchen?" "Nah, I'll suffer for the content," he said with a fake chuckle. That line made it into his video later. What didn't? Him smirking immediately after and asking for dessert, as long as it's photogenic. I knew what he was doing. He wanted us to snap, to get defensive, to give him a reaction. But we didn't, because, as always, we were rolling. 3 days later, the video dropped. The restaurant that couldn't handle the heat. It was 2 minutes and 45 seconds of carefully edited chaos. He made Devon look robotic, cut together moments to make it seem like we ignored them, added grainy filters to make the lighting look worse. He even faked a coughing fit in the bathroom and claimed he'd gotten sick. The caption, "The truth is coming out." But this time, we were already ready. Kelsey had already compiled the full footage, every angle, every word. We had timestamps, server cam audio, and even a clip of Micah laughing about the spilled water, saying, "Don't worry, I'll make this look like a hurricane." We posted our rebuttal video that same night. We served Micah jewels. Here's what really happened. We didn't add music, just clips. Clear, uncut clips of him spilling the drink, faking issues, and trying to bait staff. We showed Devon offering to remake the dish. We showed Micah waving him off and then whispering to his friend, "This'll be great for TikTok." People lost their minds. Top comment, "This is straight up entrapment. He tried to make them fail." Other comments weren't as kind. People started digging into his old reviews, pointing out other red flags, inconsistencies, exaggerated claims, suspiciously similar problems at different restaurants. A few followers said they had previously trusted him and felt tricked. Within 48 hours, he lost over 60,000 followers. The next day, we got a letter from his team. Not a lawsuit, just a vaguely threatening email titled, "Request to remove video before legal action." It said we were damaging his personal brand and that our surveillance practices raised ethical concerns. Kelsey wrote back with, "Our cameras are legal. Your lies are not. The footage stays." We never heard back, but 2 weeks later, Micah posted an emotional update video. He claimed he was taking a break to reflect and reevaluating his content strategy. No apology, just the usual influencer speak. He went quiet after that. Meanwhile, Plated Truth blew up. We passed 500K subscribers. Restaurant reservations booked out 2 weeks in advance. We got invited to speak on a local podcast about small business protection and media literacy. It was all surreal, but it wasn't all easy. Some influencers started posting about us before even coming in, almost as a warning to their followers. Going to Bay in Time tonight? Hope they don't film me if I blink wrong. Others claimed we were spying on customers, even though the footage we used was always of influencers recording themselves in public spaces. It's funny how people with cameras aimed at everything suddenly don't like being watched. One night, Anson asked me while chopping herbs, "So what now? Are we going to keep doing this forever?" I didn't have a clean answer. I never set out to start a movement. I just wanted to protect what we built. But what I told him was this: as long as people keep faking, we'll keep filming. There was one more twist. A few weeks after the Micah video, a hostess named Marla came to us looking nervous. She'd just taken an application from someone wanting to be a server. A girl in sunglasses, hoodie up, name listed as Nicole B. Marla ran her ID. Her real name? Sasha Blake. Yeah, that's Sasha. She had applied to work at our restaurant. No idea if it was a prank, a dare, or some weird revenge plot. But she walked into our space like no one would recognize her, even though her face had been in a thumbnail with 2 million views. We didn't make a scene, didn't post it, didn't film her. We just left a sticky note on her application that said, "We don't fake service here." She never came back. We never imagined we'd become those restaurant people online. The ones who made a YouTube channel. The ones who ended up on podcasts, live stream interviews, and weird listicles titled stuff like, "Top 5 times influencers got exposed on camera. Number 2 will make you cringe." But here we are. Bay and Time is thriving. Plated Truth has a silver play button, and my camera budget is now bigger than my fry oil budget. Weirdest sentence I've ever said, but yeah, this is our life now. When the Sasha incident first hit, I thought the world would forget about us in a week. Internet attention is quicksand. You go viral for 5 minutes, and then someone's toddler sneezes in a funny way, and suddenly that's the new trending topic. But somehow, people stuck with us. Maybe it was the honesty. Maybe it was the slow-motion takedown of shady influencers. Or maybe people were just ready for someone to stop pretending everything online is real. Whatever the reason, they kept watching. And we kept recording. Not just influencers, ourselves. Kelsey started filming behind-the-scenes prep. Interviews with the staff. Full unedited service shifts sped up with little notes about how food gets plated, how reservations are handled, and how much goes into just making a single dish hit the table clean and hot. Anson narrated a whole video called "Why Your Brisket Took 14 Minutes and Why That's a Good Thing." It hit 1.1 million views. People loved it. They weren't just watching for the takedowns anymore. They were watching to learn. We even had culinary students emailing us asking for footage access to use for a project. A community college in Illinois asked if they could use our service breakdown video for a hospitality class. I was stunned. Of course, it wasn't all feel-good moments. Some people didn't like what we were doing. One influencer group even tried to start a counter-campaign called Creators First, claiming we were shaming people into silence. They made a few videos, started a hashtag, but it never gained traction. People weren't mad at all influencers. Just the dishonest ones. And the thing about lies, once someone shows you how they're made, you start spotting them everywhere. We made it a rule never to post anyone without checking context. We've scrapped videos where it turned out the server was having an off day or where the kitchen made a genuine mistake. Because we're human too. But when it's fake, when it's staged, clipped, and edited to push a false story, we share it. Calmly, factually, with timestamps, and that made all the difference. Sometimes we still get influencers who try to push boundaries. One guy came in and purposely sent back his meal 3 times, hoping we'd lose patience. Devin just kept smiling and saying, "Absolutely, sir. We'll get that fixed right away." That video never got posted. Guess it wasn't exciting enough when no one snapped. Every now and then someone asks me, "Do you ever wish it hadn't gone viral?" And truthfully, yeah, sometimes. I miss when our biggest problem was running out of peach preserves or trying to find a new supplier for fresh basil. I miss being invisible, quiet, just a place locals stumbled into after work. But I don't regret defending us, because if we hadn't spoken up, we'd be closed by now. Quiet forever. All because someone wanted clicks. One of the most powerful moments happened about 3 months ago. A father and daughter came in. She was maybe 13, had braces and a little phone tripod tucked into her hoodie. She looked around the restaurant like she was entering a castle. When I brought out their food, she said, "You're the guy from the internet." I smiled and nodded. Her dad said she'd been watching all our videos and now wanted to open a bakery, but do it right, with honesty, with real reviews, with real effort. She even asked if she could film a behind-the-scenes tour one day. We said yes. She called it "What Restaurants Actually Do When You're Not Watching." It only got 9,000 views, but it's still my favorite video on the internet. Kelsey says we're in the second act of the restaurant now, not just feeding people, but educating them, protecting ourselves. And I like that idea, because for years, restaurants have just gritted their teeth through bad reviews, fake stories, and clickbait, afraid that pushing back would make things worse. But we learned something. Truth is louder when you've got proof. Funny enough, we're getting influencers who want to collaborate now. On honest reviews, full-length, uncut dining experiences. Some of them even show their audience the raw footage. No edits, no tricks. We're not against influencers. We're against liars. Big difference. Sometimes I think back to that night Sasha walked in. The ring light, the little fake cough, the tipping like she was allergic to kindness. She probably thought she'd come in, stir up drama, and move on. She didn't know we'd been ready since day one. She didn't know we'd built this place to last. A couple weeks ago, I found her name again. No, not on TikTok, not on YouTube, on a delivery order, from a different name, same last name. She ordered the brisket and a cornbread side. No note, no fuss. I don't know if it was her or someone related, but the order came through clean, paid in full with a generous tip. Kelsey looked at me and said, "You want to say anything back?" I shook my head. Nah, food's already speaking for itself. So yeah, we're not done yet. Because the truth, it's always in the footage. And we're always rolling. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed, please like, share, and subscribe for more content. If you want to share your stories, please comment below. Additionally, what is your opinion on the poster's decision?